I'm up here today at the upper end or lower end, the small end of Elk Fork Lake, debating on whether to go Chateau Road and through Zion Ridge or go Joe's Run and Trace Fork. Got a few miles to make up my mind on my 2015 Honda NC700X today. That's what I'm going to be doing most of my videos on for a while, basically all of them. I ain't put it away yet, but I'm going to put it away to for the next wet spell, but I plan on putting that Sportster away for winter. I don't trust the floor in that one shed that I like to keep my bikes in. I didn't trust it with both Sportsters. But this bike here ain't real light either, so. Oh yeah. There's the clown on the commode. You can't really see his face. It's been there for a couple months now. See his face more going the other direction. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get a microphone on my helmet. I had one in my helmet with my old camera, but it rattled so bad. I don't think this small shield accomplished what I wanted it to accomplish. It's not a high speed. I think I will just go Chateau today and through Zion Ridge. I did 1240 or 1256, but I didn't set it, so enjoy 1156. Plenty of time today to do what I want to do. I know I've mentioned it before, but I'm tickled with it. The gas mileage on this, not having to get gas every time you go somewhere, which I didn't have to in the Sportster either, but this gets a lot more range than the Sportster. Sportster had a big reserve too. I guess it still does, but I usually refilled it every 100 miles, tried to. I took 2 gallons. Thing is, I gotta climb up on the Zion Ridge. This thing probably hop and skip over the place. be washboarded or not. Probably will be. I'll make absolutely sure I can see oncoming traffic. This is Chateau Road. My dad liked Dodges and Plymouths, but I never did like and they were fine vehicles. I mean, comparable with Chevy and Ford. Some people got their preference, but I never did care for the square body. I didn't care for very many Dodge trucks, period. The trucks they built in the 60s wasn't very good looking, I didn't think. But I was going to say I never did think I would see the day that the square body Dodges would actually have a little bit of value to them. I mean, people kind of like them. I never did really care a whole lot for the looks of the square body Chevy. My dad had a Dodge truck, and it was a alright truck. I had one too. I think they both had 6 cylinders. Dad might have 318, 3-speed on the column. But mine was a short base, his was long base. But Dad drove a 70 model Chevy pickup for years. And he favored it, not for the looks, which it did look better, but he didn't like, Dad wasn't real big for one thing, but he didn't see as good out of a square body truck. He liked the way the front end was cut on them older trucks. You could see better out of them. But my biggest beef, and it's really a non-issue, with the Dodge trucks, they didn't look very strong. They especially two-wheel drives, they seem to sit low, which some people like, but Ford's always sat better than Chevy. I mean, they're back through the 70s and stuff. Had more, they look like they had more clearance. Chevy's handled better. A friend of mine's dad owned a construction business. Hello, puppies. Don't get in the road, my friends. Hello, puppy. A friend of mine's dad owned a construction business. And nothing but Fords. And from the time he was old enough to drive, he had been driving a 3/4 ton. The truck finally got turned over him was a 2-wheel drive, 3/4 ton, 306-cylinder 4-speed. And he could hang with just about anybody in that old truck. I mean, I'm talking car or truck. I've seen him humiliate a guy in what was a new Trans Am at the time on a crooked road. But I drove that truck one time, couldn't hardly hold it in the road. So much slop in the steering. A lot of people, this is on Ridge now, a lot of people call that a Ford steering. Well, they used to, everything's, I'm sure, changed by now. Ain't been this way since I had dual sports. This thing really ain't cut out for gravel, just time consuming. It'll do it, but hang on this side as good as I can. Deeper than I thought it was going to be. Now we gotta climb that hill. Everything just full of washboard. I went to school with them, rode the bus with them, and they was married into my cousin's side of the family, the in-laws and stuff. But people up here were just about as staunch Ford fans as you could ever have got. They all had Ford trucks, different colors, big orange, big gold, big blue. Big black, there's a big black one. But that's what they called them all, was big, whatever the color was. They were really the only family, and kind of still the only family that uses this side of the hill. There's another family on this ridge out past them, but they use the other side of the hill. Come out the Tug Fork end. Well, so far that hill wasn't that bad. Of course, I was going slow, and I intend to go slow. Travel like this when you got a worn track is easier to run than that crunchy, fresh stuff. Smell natural gas again on a different spot, but there was another place on this road I used to smell it a lot. I forget where I smelled it yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Maybe the day before yesterday. I don't know. Days all kind of run together. I do not like the clock's getting turned back. And I'm not as affected, I'm retired, but I'm not as affected by it as those who work and they get home and it's pretty much dark by the time they get them something to eat. If they have outdoor activities they like to do, that makes it rough on them. I can capitalize, I don't always do it, but I can capitalize on the fact that I can just get up a little earlier. Of course, there's nothing you can do about the cold weather. I mean, that's a limiting factor too on outdoor activities. I'm bundled up good, got heavy flannel pajamas under these pants. Have a regular shirt and a real heavy sweatshirt under here. But I still was getting cold at speed. The next house we get to, there were actually several places together, it's all one family. They're related. You guess they're not right related to me, but they were related to my wife, they are. But her sister, her older sister, was married to the guy that lives out here. And my wife's nieces and nephews still live out here. But my wife's sister and The guy that lives out here been divorced for years. I mean, maybe 30 years, I don't know. Maybe not that long. The little spots where you're tempted to open them up, like on a regular dual sport with some tires with a little bit of cleat to them, you don't want to do on this, so you can't really do on this. No reason to. Just more or less go a fairly steady, slow pace the whole way. Top of Don Ridge, pretty much the top. It climbs up to another level once you get past Buffalo Lick, but we're not going that way. You can't get real far out of it anyways. Up here's where I normally smell gas, but I don't smell it today. All these places here is where the one that was married to my wife's sisters, and that's where their family lives. And they come off the Buffalo Lick side, where most of Buffalo Lick now. I can't believe that. I don't know what the difference is, whether it's just me getting old and slipping or what. But I noticed that video yesterday, my signal was on almost the whole time. Trying to get an idea of how long I've been running this video. I think when I looked at my clock, it said 12:56 a while ago, and I said Roby 11:56. And it says 1:12 now, so it'll be 12:12 now. Old graveyard up there, just really one grave in it, and then they got a couple markers for other people. Might be more than one grave, just smaller tombstones, but this curve here can be tricky when you turn on the Buffalo Lick. Especially when the gravel's thick. I think I'm going to start from the other side on it. No, I don't need to. Gravel ain't thick. This is Buffalo Lick now. It's right here, it's got a little choppy. Of course, I think last time I was on it was covered in gravel. I mean, thicker gravel, fresher. Almost down to the old Buffalo Lick schoolhouse, and a whole lot left of it. That is new. Well, it ain't really a road. Maybe they plan on putting something up there. But none of that was there last time I was through here. It said Wells Drive, but ain't up to see any today, but I used to see a lot of turkey down here past this school. Especially when he had sorghum in there. Sorghum cane. He might have put it in pumpkins this year. That's old Buffalo Lick schoolhouse there. Like I say, there ain't much left of it. Might not put that, well, you put it in them are the smallest, pitiful looking, what's left of pumpkins that I ever saw. I guess that's what it had in there. Maybe some kind of gourds or something. Bunch of Jimson weed. That Jimson weed's nasty stuff. It's a hallucinogenic. But no, there's pumpkins left over. But last year he had it all in sorghum cane. I'm always in too high of a gear on this. It'll pull it, but probably ain't good for it. whole lot more of this road left. 18. This is probably about 25 minutes long by now. I think I'll just go up here and end it, maybe start another one somewhere. Don't need that gear. Well, thanks.